Kangaloo. Hey! Chile, me don't laugh now. Kangaloo say open arms. Kangaloo say open arms. Oh Lord. Oh, I know some of you don't love me. I love all of you. I want to talk to all of you. Oh, there's too much shouting. It's too loud. Let me come. Let me embrace you. I'm going to be a president for the people. I won't stay away. I love all of you. Really? Really, Kangaloo? This wasn't you. Run it.
Senator Roberts, that question does not arise. Any further questions? That too does not arise. Any further questions? Senator Roberts? Senator Roberts, please. You just made a whole speech. Fascinating as this is. I really would like you to get to the point, please. No, but get it a little faster.
Thing for you to make you happy. The point of the
Senator
bill...
Roberts, it's not about my happiness. It's about my ensuring the smooth running and functioning of this Senate. Roberts, Senator Roberts, you are going down a path that I do not think is proper. Therefore, you have a few seconds. I would ask you to wrap up your contribution.
Madam President, I don't know what part you thought I was going on, because I am not sure what part. But I'm saying today that we are here, Trinidad and Tobago.
Has expired, Minister of Finance. Senator Roberts, number one, you just made another speech. Number two, that question, if it was a question, is not allowed. Can we move on to the next question? Senator Mark. Senator Mark, I won't allow that question. Next question.
Senator Roberts. I'm interrupted, yes, ma'am. No.
Senator Roberts. And I would also ask you, please, to just lower your voice a little bit. The acoustics in here are quite...
Let me just read that again. She said a 2-year plan will also see police enhancing its intelligence gathering capabilities and greater use of technology in police operations. We will improve our efficiency and effectiveness, she said, by optimizing our existing technological capabilities, both internal and external, and invest more to close the gap in our technology capabilities. Looking inward, the top cop said she aimed to fix the negative perception of police officers, to build police legitimacy, public trust, and confidence. And she will adopt a zero tolerance on police involved in criminality. Well, let's see, Erla Christopher. Story reads, we will work to create she said, and to have officers that the public can trust and act with integrity and to do the right thing. Always, and to treat them fairly and respectfully and punish erring behavior of police officers. All right, Erla? Here what Christopher called on the people to partner with the police to address crime, saying, we will build relationship with key stakeholders, including the public, communities, group, business, organization, religious groups, schools, NGO, etc. And will conduct community needs assessment and develop and implement policy and strategy and tactics that are appropriate to the particular community. Crime fighting needs a holistic approach, she said, including divine attention. She doubled down on a previous call for spirituality to assist in the fight against crime. With God, she said, without God, the police will not be able to do its job effectively. So let me go back to the top a little bit, Miss Erla Christopher. Let me just go back to the top and let me see how much points I could get out of your 10-point plan. 1. For the year so far, police have recovered 185 guns, 6,000 334 rounds of ammunition. Very good. So, Madam Commissioner of Police, let me start right there. So the police is able to retrieve 6,334 rounds of ammunition. Very good. But I want you, Ola Christopher, to tell us what is the position with the 500 rounds of ammunition that went missing while in safe keeping within the arms of the police. Why we are not hearing, Madam Commissioner of Police, what is the status of the 500 rounds of ammunition that the police picked up at a firearms dealer, that to date, after a court order, to date the police cannot give account for 500 rounds of the people ammunition? What is the position with that? That is what I want to hear this evening. So that is one. Secondly, she said a 2-year plan will also see police enhancing its intelligence gathering capability and greater use of technology in police operation. Madam Ola Christopher, while you are telling us, the public, I reached out my partner with the police yet, while you're telling us, the public, that within your 2-year crime plan, I want to ask a question. How much months you have remaining as the Commissioner of Police? How much months you have remaining as the Commissioner of Police? Is it to say that you are promised by the political directorate that you would be the extended Commissioner of Police when your few months finish? Talk to me. So you have a 2-year crime plan. Let me work with that. So within your 2-year crime plan, Madam Commissioner of Police, where we are expected to see greater intelligence gathering and sophisticated capabilities of the police. What happened to the police body cameras? What happened to the police body cameras? Later in this same statement, you said that you intend to deal with corrupt police officers. Those errant officers, you said in this statement that you propose to deal with them. But where are the police body cameras where we and you would be able to see the conduct of the police officers, whether they're taking a bribe, whether they're involved in drugs, whether they're involved in human trafficking, whether they're involved in extrajudicial killing? How are you going to see? How are you going to find out? How are you going to man? How are you going to know? Is it some case of spirituality, Ola Christopher, that you expect that the supreme being to whisper in your ears and say, there goes another police officer who corrupt, there goes another police officer who in human trafficking, there goes another police officer who in drugs, there go another police officer who have executed somebody for money. How we would know? What is the position? You see, are they talking about partnering with the police? And are they talking about better efficient activities with the police? But you people are not outfitting the police officers with the necessary tool to ensure that they work according to regulation. You all are not equipping the police with the necessary tools to ensure that the police would be competent in the dischargement of their duties. You all are not equipping the police with the necessary tool so the police will be conscious that there is a check and a balance in the way in which he performed his duty, so that to the end of the day he would be held accountable for his action. So you telling us in a big media release that you intend to deal with police officers who are corrupt, but to the end of the day you're going to deal with it by an imaginary whisper, whether it be from Casper or whether it be a divine intervention. Because in order to have the police accountable, and in order to have the police doing a job according to regulation, the police must be equipped with the tool that they would be conscious of every step of the way, that they are being monitored, and therefore being monitored, it helps the police to do the right thing. That is what it is. That is what to do. So while Ole on this big PR stunt and believe that Ole could hoodwink the population and telling the population that you Ole Christopher, you are on a roll to effectively have the police service efficient. The police service cannot be efficient, Ole Christopher, without the tools. That is 2 out of your 10 points. Let me go again. So you also say in your story here, Ole Christopher, that you intend to improve our efficiency and effectiveness by optimizing our existing technology, both internal and external, and invest more to close the gap in our technological capability. Madam Ole Christopher, you see this paragraph here? This is what I call great public relation dotishness. Because Madam Ole Christopher, we know for a fact that Israeli spyware were bought, and we also know for a fact that Gary Griffith tell this country publicly, Gary told this country that he had ensured that the equipment went into the hands of the unit of the TTPS that is charged with the responsibility to deal with gang violence, and other intelligence in relation to national security. So when you tell us that there is some efficiency to improve, the efficiency that needs to be improved within the police service is that the police service executive must stop the political tool in this country. That is where the efficiency is needed. The police executive must not be a football to the political directorate. Because if the police executive isn't a political football, today in this country, we would have been hearing about what is the status of the investigation in relation to a $4.4 million venture credit union account. If the executive was efficient and they won't conform themselves to be that political tool, we would have been hearing what is the status of the file of Avery Drilling and the fake oil. If the executive of the police service wasn't that political tool, we would have had closure to $143,800 in relation to Camille Robinson Regis. If the police service wasn't that political tool, the executive, we would have also known the status of $400,000 to $500,000 that Rowley states he get as a gift from the Warner people in Tobago in relation to an apartment building. If the police service was efficient, the executive that is, and they won't allow themselves to be that political football, today we would have had an investigation into the millions upon millions of dollars in relation to Balize House that is under construction, that Rowley and Hines tell this public that they raised the money by a raffle. If the police service, the executive, was not that big political tool, today we would have been hearing that action by the police were taking place after a special branch report revealed the activities of a minister of government that we call Foster Cummins. If the police service, Earl Christopher, the executive of the police service, wasn't that PNM broom, that PNM cocaine broom, that sweeping the yard and cleaning up the dog poo-poo today in our country, we would have had the gangs under control. We would have had home invasion under control. We would have had serious crimes done. We would have had white collar crime, people before the court, but the executive of the police service is a political ball bearing. So don't come and tell us about capabilities and technological and efficiency. All that is a joke to the public. All that is a big joke to Trinidad and Tobago. All that 10-point crime plan that you and all them jokers come with is what you call natural failure. But let me go on. So you say, looking inward, the top cop said she aimed to fix the negative perception of police officers, to build police legitimacy, public trust and confidence. Public trust and confidence in who, and public trust and confidence in what? Madam Earl Christopher, let me tell you something. People doesn't sell, or let me get it a little better, right? People do not sell Madam Earl Christopher public trust and public confidence in the shop. Public trust and confidence, you doesn't go and buy a gallon or a liter of that by the gas station. Public trust and public confidence, you cannot go and get a kilo, or in some case 2.2 pounds. Public trust, Madam Earl Christopher, is earned. That is something that is earned. That is something, Madam Earl Christopher, that comes with merit. It comes with integrity. It comes with honesty. Public trust and confidence, you don't buy it some way. So what you feel that you talking this packadotish this year, that somebody will buy into that and say, well, Earl Christopher tell the country that she going to fix the problem and she going to take measures to create public trust. That doesn't work so, my lady. The police service executive, in a while I will show you how over 500 or 600 of your own officers have no trust in all you as the executive. Hold on, I'm going to show you that just now, but let me continue here. So you're going to work to create a new type of policing that people will trust off the bat because you say it. Let's move. She said the police will also increase its visibility with direct patrols in hotspot, which will improve roadway management to target offenders. I like how they put it. They're telling me that the police going to create roadway management to deal with offenders. But she just lost me. Because every Monday morning, every Tuesday evening, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whole week, whole month is roadblock. Roadblock here, roadblock there, roadblock everywhere. Roadblock to deal with what? Gangs? Trinidad and Tobago. I want all to tell me what they're dealing with. Tell me, no friend, tell the country what all this roadblock is about. If it's to deal with gangs and guns. The police stopping you, they even checking your vehicle. You know what they're checking? Blow your horn, pour on your wiper, watch your tire, your tail light. Some police stopped me, Some police stopped me this week coming from a program. Last week, sorry. And they stopped me in the roadblock. And the police officer said, "Good night, sir." Let me see your insurance. So I take out my insurance and I get the officer. I have my permit there. They want to see my permit. They want to see my insurance. The police officer said, "You know why we pull you over?" I said, "Well, no. Because your ID light's not working." I said, "My ID light not working?" So I'm going to crack the door to come out, because if I say my ID light not working, let me see my ID light not working. The officer said, "One brighter than one." You hear what I tell you, brother? The officer tell me that one of my ID light, I had how much? 4 people in the vehicle or 3? 3 of us in the vehicle. My madam and somebody else. The police say one brighter than one, and I could get a ticket because one brighter than one. So I want to know which part in the Road Traffic Act tell me, Victor Roberts, that if your ID light one is brighter than one, it is our offense. That is what they are interested in. So they want you to pour on your wiper, blow your horn, dip your lights, check your tires. In most cases, the only time they ask for your license and insurance is when they go and get a ticket. Because I pass through other roadblocks, they say touch your horn, pour on your wiper, blow your dip your lights, tires good. Alright, so go ahead, carry on. They care if I have a license or I have a license. They care if the van has insurance or it didn't have insurance. So all this improvement that they're talking about is just to generate revenue on a dilapidated road, a road that breaking up, mashing up your vehicle, bringing your vehicle to an unroadworthy state, and then they had the police license officers, traffic wardens, on the outside there and charging you for defective vehicle, and telling you about your tire cutting on the inside and your tire cutting on the outside, because every time you hit a hole, your alignment gone, your camber gone, your alignment gone. Every time you hit a hole, you have to visit the tire shop because it's looking like if jet sting your tire, some big bump coming out when you hit them pothole and them on the walls of your tire. You understand? In some cases, people have to park up and get a spare and put on. And in some cases, you might even burst the spare and all that you put on based on how far you go in. But Erla Christopher intends to improve roadway management. You hear the nice name for it? Roadway. That is to manage money in your pocket. Alright? But let's go on because I want to come back to our point. Here what Christopher called on people to partner with the police to address crime, saying we will build relationship with key stakeholders, including the public. What public are you going to build relationship with Madam Erla Christopher? Madam Erla Christopher, we live in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. We live in here. We know exactly what goes on here. So when you're speaking about building relationship with the public, who public you talking about? You feel that we living down somewhere down in St. Anne's, or you feel we in the mad house? You feel that people in the mad house, so people are aware of what's going on? How much people was in police protective custody and lose their life? How much people get poisoned while they was in police custody in high profile case? How much people get gunned down while they was in police custody in high profile case, and then all yourself come in and tell we that the person left protective custody after they was advised not to? Isn't that what you tell the people of this country? So what you talking about? Partner with who? Who going to partner with who? You stand a better chance partnering with the bandit than partnering with all you. Because as it stands right now, how much officers that you have, Erla Christopher, on suspension for corrupt activities and criminality? How much? Why you tell us how much police officers on suspension? Tell us how much executive members on suspension in the police service. Tell us how much police get transferred because of corruption. Move them here, put them there. Move them from CID, put them traffic branch. Move them from traffic branch, put them FIU. Move them from FIU, put them police complainant. Move them here, move them there, move them everywhere. Madam Erla Christopher, what happened to the initiative that Gary was implementing with the lie detector test? You want to make the police service efficient? Let the politicians who all you listen to, the politicians who tell you who to charge and not to charge, let you tell them to make it mandatory that police officers every 6 months go through that process, so we could then partner with the police with body cameras, because now we know that the police that we intend to talk and partner with, that they are honest police officers. That is what we wanted. That is what we want. Tell the politician that you're taking advice from to put a piece of legislation to the parliament, and they're passing everything with simple majority. Pass that with simple majority too. That every 6 months we will have these officers in those special units going through that lie detector process, so then the public will know that the officer that you intend to talk to is a straightforward, genuine police officer. Other than that, Earl Christopher, you try to see if you could partner with Rowley. Try and partner with Rowley. That's what you have to try to do. Let me move on. So they go on to tell us that when you deal with key stakeholders, including the public, community groups, business organizations, religious groups, schools, NGO, etc., and will conduct community needs assessment and develop and implement policing. And you will also put inside of that strategies, and you will kick in some tactics that will be appropriate to the particular community. Madam Earl Christopher, I would like you to explain to Trinidad and Tobago what is this community needs assessment. This community need assessment that you're talking about, how you conducting that? You're going and partner with social welfare. You're going and check Donna Cox for the list. You're going to start to put food card in place. You're putting groceries in place. You're going and start to buy gas for people's vehicle. You're going and buy books for children. You're going and get children's school uniform. You're going to get devices for children. You're going to help the parents pay their utility bills that the IRC will be raising very soon. You're going to put water in the pipe so children could bathe and freshen themselves to go to school in the morning. Because Earl Christopher, the madman on the side of the road, already conduct a community assessment and mention the aforementioned that I mentioned. Everybody know what the community needs, Earl Christopher. You're going to bring policies that employment would be created in these hotspot and other communities, Earl Christopher. Earl Christopher, it seems as though that you are not in touch with the social aspect of Trinidad and Tobago. It seems as though, Earl Christopher, that you joined the police service as a commissioner of police. It seems that you have never passed through the rank and file of the police service. A blind man could see, all respect to the vision impaired, a blind man could see exactly what is the needs of every community in Trinidad and Tobago. Every community. So you're going to now conduct community assessments to see the needs. I think you need to go home. I think that you need to get a pen and a paper and write your resignation and leave it on the desk. Clear your locker, take up your Jaji bundle and find where you live in, and stop coming in the public and bamboos the public head with all this protocol that every time anyone or you sit on that chair want to create a perception that all you know what all you're doing. That is what all you're trying to do here, you know. Create a perception that all you know what all you're doing. But the fact of the matter is, all you lost, all you just like Keith Rowley and the government, all you have a clue what's going on in this country. So you go ahead, send out some police with some pen, pencil, and clipboard, and let it go house to house knock. Good morning, I'm Police Officer Boy Blue. My badge number is 002, and I'm here to do an assessment. You're paying your light bill? No. You're paying your water rate? No. You're getting water at all? No. You have food on your house? No. Your children have school books? No. Your children have school shoes? No. Your children are them eating in the morning? No. So how are you living? No. All you really have to be some clever people in this country. Well, let me go on. Crime fighting needs a holistic approach. She said, including divine attention. I think that is a good thing for you, Madam Erla Christopher. I think you should go to church, you should kneel, and you should ask the Heavenly Father to give you what Solomon had. Father, grant unto me, Erla Christopher, the Commissioner of Police by name, wisdom, understanding, strategy, a good crime plan, so that I can now live up to the name Commissioner of Police. That is a very good prayer for you. And when it is going to do that prayer, go down and see if you could find Gordon. Some kind of bishop they just call him. I don't know where you get that title from, but you could go down by him and see if he could help you. Because Erla Christopher, I am going to tell you that your own police officers have no confidence in the executive of the police service. So let me read another article. Exclusive. Promotion bacchanal has erupted in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and now it's heading for the court, the story said. Information received states that some 600 plus police officers who holds the rank of constable have filed action against Victor Roberts? No. Have filed action against the Commissioner of Police? And the Promotion Advisory Board. The story go on. This action would be a historical one, as it is the biggest stand ever against failed process, breach of constitutional rights, and a total disregard of acts of parliament, according to one police officer. The officers are claiming that in some instance it had been over 14 years. They have passed exam and no promotion, but to be placed in a pool of about 2,400 constables who have just passed the said exam. Other sources inform The present Commissioner of Police who is that? The present Commissioner of Police, who is that? The present Commissioner of Police responded and hurriedly create a board where the constables are confused. So, Ola Christopher, if your 600 police officers confused by your action, what is left for the poor citizens of this country, Ola? But let me go on. Some constables have retired as constables, having acted in the rank for 14 years, and to date no redress. When asked about the representation from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association, the source told DJ News that they have no confidence in the present regime. No confidence. You know why they have no confidence? Let me see if I can help all you. Just the other day, the Police Welfare Association kicking up a storm. And within all the bacchanal, they kick up and want to accept this, how much percent and what percent. You know, shortly after, you see one of the big head in that organization, the Police Service Welfare. You know, you see them on a political platform looking to run for election for the PNM. That man, he ain't even retired good yet, but you see him looking to run for election for the PNM. So if the police officers telling this country that they have no confidence in the police hierarchy, what you telling we, Ola Christopher, about partnering with who? What you telling us about partnering with who? They say you run and put some board in place, hurry, 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 and confuse the whole thing. So you know what happening as a result of that? They head into court. The police putting the police in court. So don't vex when I put them in court. The police putting the police in court because no justice, no fair play, no integrity in the process. That is what you have to deal with. And then they're telling we to partner. Then they're telling we to rock with them. Then they're telling we, yes, we, to trust them. We want to trust the police, Madam Ola Christopher. We want to trust the police. You feel we want to trust the police? But we will trust the police when the police stop take literal instructions from the politician. We will trust the police when we see the police have an investigation going on against the UNC and against the PNM. We can't trust the police when the police only have investigation going on, according to them, against 1 or 2 UNC individuals, while we have 9 of the PNM individuals involved in some level of corruption and no investigation. No investigation. We continue to suffer. We have seen in this country a level of corruption that we have never seen before. That is what we have seen. We have seen men and women portray a level of honesty when their action display dishonesty. We have seen Prime Minister Keith Rowley stand up and lie to us openly, bold-facedly, brass-facedly, and all they accept that. We have seen Keith Rowley behave in a very unprofessional and unseemly manner as a Prime Minister, and we applaud that. We have seen Fitzgerald Hinds, after we braced for 600 plus murders, and the police service, the executive, who waits to be appointed by the politician, none of you will stand up and condemn that type of behavior. You know what all they do? All they look to make excuse for the politician. That is what all they do. All they defend the politician. All they try to blame the parents of the children who involved in these activities. All they put the blame squarely in the laps of the citizens. The politicians fail, but all they support them. You know why? Because all they depend on the politician for political appointment to high office, where all they will have a nice pension when they go home. All they don't care if the country sink. All they don't care if the country cannot raise its head above water. All they don't care about that. All they will stick with this government. All they will defend the government. All they will take instructions from the government. Or they will go after political opponents of the government. And don't get me wrong, or don't fool yourself, you know. I am saying any opponent of the government who do wrong, they must face the courts. That is what Victor Abbott saying. If there is people in the UNC who do wrong, they must face the court. But equally so, those in the PNM that do wrong, they must also face the court. Equally so. But there is no justice. There is no moral standard within the hierarchies of the police service. Most of you who sits on the executive of the police service, waiting to be appointed by some PNM politician. That is what all they're waiting on. So all they will sit down and suck Pennacool. Before all they make any move to arrest members of the PNM who is involved in wrongdoing. Your special branch report is a witness. It is a witness. It is a testimony to the behavior of the high-ranking officers within the police service. Your capable, competent special branch officers submit a report on Foster Cummings and what the police did about it. What they did about it? Absolutely nothing. We have all kind of bacchanal going on in this country. But you know what all the executive officers waiting on? A promotion. Or they don't care. The city could burn down. Or they're jamming still. You know why they're jamming still? Because they have a firearm. Or they have a badge. Or they have a uniform. So or they feel protected. Or they feel strong. But the average citizen don't have a firearm. The average citizen, he hardly even have clothes to put on. The average citizen only have a taxi badge. And they're vulnerable. People jumping in the car, hire them to go there and they can't find them. We have a brother from Rancho today, they can't find him. This is about 21 days. And they can't find him. Nowhere to be found. So the citizens, they are not protected. They are not protected by the police. We are left vulnerable while the police take instructions from the politician, and convenient instructions too. While the police take instruction, while the executive take instructions in order to have the politician, the government look good, the country continue to die, the country continue to face hardship, home invasion, breaking and enter, murder, larceny, robbery, rape, all the violent crime we expose while only protect the politician. And the reason why we are in this crime situation is because the criminals know that the politician, the government is more criminal than them. The criminals, they are quite aware that the government is more criminal than them on the streets. You feel they know that? I have a next issue to deal with. I will deal with it Friday. When we look at the cabinet and the behavior of the cabinet. I ain't touching that tonight. Friday we will deal with that. Because that is of such importance. And where I am, I was anticipating the internet. Because I see a good little trouble before I get in. But that next topic is a very serious topic that I will deal with on Friday. And you must tune in. Like and follow Facts Not Fiction. That is the page to follow. Follow Douglas Politics also, don't afraid. Because we give it raw, we give it without clothes, we give it the truth naked. We don't have to dress it up and put lip gloss and eyeshadow and them jobless eyelash that I see people wearing now. I say that and my wife watch me funny, boy. I better take back that quick, yes. I better take back that quick. I say that she watch me kind of way when I talk about them jobless eyelash. But ladies and gentlemen, we are in this position because of the behavior of the government. And I say it already, I must say it again. I have no problem if members of the opposition break the law, then they must pay the price. But the shoes must be on everybody's foot. Those tightening the shoes on the opposition foot, while we have the PNM walking bare feet, they leaving the footprint, and the executive of the police will not conduct investigations. They will not, because everybody looking for a political appointment. People no longer want to work on merit. People no longer want merit to be the criteria for a position. They get so caught up with this level of corruption that everything is eater food. Everything is a corruption. That is what you get accustomed with. So the police executive, who according to our law, they are charged with the responsibility to investigate any crime, whether reported or otherwise. You know what I hear a policeman said recently on a program? How they want the police to investigate something if nobody make a report. Don't see an idiot policeman. Some TV show. Don't see an idiot. Head big, no brain. The police, as a rumor reach the police job is to look into it and to see if there is any facts or evidence in that rumor. That is the job. But in our country, they say the police cannot deal with it except a report has been made. Just like they tell me I could get a ticket for one bulb brighter than one. That is how laws, they just make laws out of stupidity. That is how they make laws. And as you ask a question and say, well, what section of the Road Traffic Act say that if one of my ID light is brighter than the other, it warrants a ticket? They started telling you, oh, you feel you're a bush lawyer, you feel you know the law, and you feel this and you feel that, and if you only answer, we charge you for annoying language and all that sort of dotishness that they feel they could intimidate people with. But it has some people who don't take intimidation. It has some. They don't take intimidation. And for some reason, somehow, I don't know how I end up with that blood. I don't have the blood of intimidation inside of me, right? So forget about Victor Roberts. He can't intimidate me. But this is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here is where we are. The criminals in this island, they know what the politicians are doing. The criminals in this island, they are aware that the executive of the police service is condoning the unlawful behavior of members of government. The criminal knows it. The junior officers within the rank and file of the police service, they have no confidence in the executive of the police service. And if the junior doesn't have confidence in the executive, then how would you expect in God's name that there would be merit amongst the police officers when the police officers know for a fact that their seniors are corrupt and allowing corrupt activities to continue in a country because they are waiting patiently for an appointment to the head or to the rank of deputy and commissioner? What do you expect, ladies and gentlemen, the rest of the police officers to do? It is a case where the officers of the lower rank, they are quite aware of the behavior of the senior officers. We have seen where senior officers send junior officers to collect unlawful money. Unfortunately, you know who paid the price? The junior officer paid the price and the senior officer just get transferred. So the criminal element in society, they are quite familiar with the activities of the government. They are quite familiar with the activities of the executive. And therefore, they would do as they please because they know that there is no law and order from the top. When you have politicians who will make laws, have them passed in the parliament, have them enacted by a president, and persons are being charged and placed before the courts. And when they go before the courts, sometimes they end up in prison. And they are aware that the politicians doing worse than what them doing. And the police executive condones that behavior. You know what you do? When that man come out of jail, you make him twice the criminal that he was before he entered prison. Twice. Because he have that sense of no justice. He have that sense of them doing it and they getting away. He have that sense of knowing exactly what is taking place in society. But to the end of the day, you folks with the authority to investigate Keith Rowley, to investigate Foster Cummins, to investigate Stuart Young, to investigate Rohan Sinanan, to investigate Camille Robinson Regis, to investigate Faris Alwari, to investigate Reginald Limo, to investigate Kazim Hussein. You people do absolutely nothing. But you would expect that the country will function and people would be law-abiding citizens after the government have implemented austerity measures on the population. And while they implement those measures, they continue to reap the benefit from the resources of the country. They live nice. They have tax-free vehicles every 2 years in the sum of million plus TT dollars. They eat well. They drink well. They sleep on the best sofa. They pay for nothing. Taxpayer money has been utilized in every junction, in every crossroad. Don't matter how bad the road is, they enjoy taxpayer money. They drive taxpayer money. They fill the tank with taxpayer money. They go to the fancy restaurant with taxpayer money. They get tax breaks with taxpayer money. They shop online with your tax dollar. And to the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, all you get from your tax dollar is a tack in your foot. And some of you have a tack in all your brain, because after you have experienced all that you have experienced, and after you have gone through all that you are going through, yet to the end of the day, you still defend Keith Rowley and his government. That is what they call tack in the brain. The tack is so deep in your brain that it seems as though you would not ever understand that government must act within the confines of the law, that government first and foremost is to ensure safety and security of its citizens. And government ought to provide policies that will develop your human resources. Here is where I will leave it for tonight. Remember to tune in to Facts, Not Fiction, every Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. sharp. I will be posting the links on my Victor Roberts page, so you can just get the link and you can click and you will be able to pick us up on Facebook, and you will also be able to pick us up through Douglas Politics on YouTube. So till then, good night. God bless. I'm out.
Put the guns them down. Cause we want some understand. Put them down. Put them away now. Understand. Yo, Mr. Marshall, Benjai, what you say?
All the time, Senator Leiter. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. UNC family. UNC family. UNC family, this is the 12th day of fasting. And I have a hunger. Not for food. I have a hunger for justice. This is the 12th day of fasting. And I have a thirst. Not for water, but for social equity. I feel it. I want it. And under Kamla Prasad Bisesa, we will get it. This hunger must reach to every section of Trinidad and Tobago. This thirst, which symbolizes our deprivation in the month of Ramadan, should stretch across the country as we empathize with the people who don't fast in the month of Ramadan, but all throughout their lives, they are fasting because of this wicked, incompetent PNM government. They have nothing to eat. People are suffering. And we know the suffering is real. We know the suffering is real. Despite all the facilitators of this PNM government, that they try to hide, they try to mask, they try to cover, we in the UNC, who meet the people on the ground, who represent the realities of Trinidad and Tobago as we see it, there's a hunger, there's a thirst, and it's not about the month of Ramadan. And you know where it comes from? Funnily enough, when we look at the statistics, brothers and sisters, when we look at what PNM under this Keith Christopher Rowley has done, is deny their own constituencies, their own people up and down the East-West corridor involved in the highest level of crime. And why? Why? We have the most incompetent, droopy-headed Minister of National Security in the history of the Caribbean, Fitzgerald Hines. What is his response? His response is to say that our people watching too much porn. In other words, he defied every single directive, every single study and data issued by the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, which indicates that the cause of crime is what? Poverty. You don't have, you'll find a way to have. Does not make sense to you? Isn't that common sense? But the fundamentals of government escapes this PNM. It escapes Keith Christopher Rowley. The fundamentals. So when economist Roger Hussain says, low economic activity has led us to high rate of crime, what Fitzgerald said? No. He said no. The youth's watching too much porn. Well, that's what Hines doing. Hines must be watching too much porn. Because we could call that the pornographic national movement. That's not a joke. We have a PNM. If they examine their own record, it's a perverted party. It's a perverted institution. So don't blame Ola Christopher when she talk about evil stalking the land. But what we could tell Ola Christopher, name the evil stalking the land. Name the evil stalking the land. When Jason Gordon talk about we must make sacrifices as a people, tell Jason Gordon our people sacrificing for the last 8 years. 8 years our people sacrificing. They can't see the way. You've never seen a people like people of Trinidad and Tobago sacrificing, burning their belly. And you know what? The facilitators of the PNM is what is encouraging people like Keith Christopher Rowley to keep doing what he's doing, which is no public policy. No policy at all, actionable or deliverable for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You all remember when they killed those boys in Mova? When the people of Mova, Lavantil rioted? You all remember the response of Keith Christopher Rowley? Immediately, same puppy show, same lie. When they talked about mendacity, that is Rowley. When they talk about lying evil, that is Rowley. Don't get confused. The devil will come and evil will come, roaring and talking big and bad. You know. What he does, he makes you come down to his level, mediocre. And that is Rowley governance. There's a really subpar, mediocre government. They come with an economic recovery committee. Has anybody seen one policy that came out of that committee for the good of the people of the East-West corridor? Nothing. Nothing. You know why? Nothing for the African and Indian people of the East-West corridor. Nothing. Nothing for the African and Indian people in the rural areas. But they could find what? 100 million for where? Balize House. And you know what? Forget Rowley. Forget Rowley. You know why? The evil will do what evil does. We are to worry about who facilitates that evil. So you cannot tell me our independence institutions, or religious organizations who know that there's evil taking place under Keith Christopher Rowley, and they sanction it. They sanction it. They even endorse it. They support it. Why? They're afraid of this bully called Keith Christopher Rowley. What are we to do? We have to stand up and fight. Every day of our lives, we have to stand up and fight against this government. 100 million, while people cannot get a food grant. 100 million, when people can't get scholarships. 100 million, when people can't get a hamper. When they get hampers, they say the needy and the greedy. Donna Cox. 100 million, go along the East-West corridor. Every single bus stop on the East-West corridor is a what? a hotel for the homeless. Well, you know yourself, you can't go and sit in a bus stop. Somebody make that their home. Who you gonna blame them? What we paying taxpayers' money for this government? And we're only proud when we ask him, account for that 100 million for Balize House. We tell you what we doing in PNM business. That is not your business. That is the business of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Where that 100 million comes from. Because you know what? The people of Trinidad and Tobago, they have realized it ain't about the African and Indian with Keith Rowley. With Keith Rowley, it's about this. Money. Money. How he can make money for him and his financiers. That is all Keith Rowley is about. So while we fighting in African Indian, Keith Rowley and who? His people. Laughing all the way to the bank. And I'll tell you what. They even have a PNM stalwart. What's his name, Arnold? Ferdy Ferrer. Ferdy Ferrer. Come out and what he tell us? He tell us, he will take Rowley to his word when he say he built Balize House with raffles. The only two people in the history of the world who ever take Rowley to his word is Ferdy Ferrer and a woman 40 years ago, a schoolgirl. And you see what happened with that? That is the only two people in the history of the world ever take Rowley to this word. Everybody else knows Rowley is an unmitigated liar. A liar. Raffle could build Balize House. Well, we are asking here in the UNC. We telling him, we want to know, as DPL John, as she said, where that money come from. And that money that coming in to build Balize House, why is that not being given to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? You want to put yourself in your vanity project, Balize House. That's a vanity project. You want to put yourself along the lines of Eric Williams, Chambers, Manning. You can't walk in them fellas' shoes, Rowley. You cannot walk in them fellas' shoes. Okay, they are our political opponents, but you, Keith Rowley, cannot walk in their shoes. Put your foot somewhere else. And if you want the example where to put your foot, look at the other fellow in Tobago where he put his. Rowley, the people of Trinidad and Tobago totally fed up of your lies. They're totally fed up of your evil. So what we are as a party, we are calling out not you, but the facilitators, those independent institutions that you have corrupted, that you have compromised. We want to know, while all the youth of the East-West corridor suffering, cannot find employment. I mean, we walk in Tinapuna and we looked into their eyes, the youth, the young people of Tinapuna. And it's a confused look. You know why? No guidance, nothing to look forward to. And you come to tell us about we should pray. The only thing we could pray for, as MP Rambali says, for you to go, get the hell out of here, Keith Rowley. Tell me, people of Trinidad and Tobago, Garden Express News Day, one policy Keith Christopher Rowley has implemented that could help the youth of Trinidad and Tobago. And don't tell me nothing about no events. Events is not a policy. Events, putting on an event here and an event there, that is not policy. Policy, as our UNC MPs will tell you, policy is something that is sustainable, that could give people real jobs, real income, that they can look forward to building their lives and their family. But all we really want to do is make sure that the youth of the East-West corridor have a job in a fast food outlet, have a job in a little retail store. Why? They have no value as far as Keith Rowley is concerned. They do not matter as far as Keith Rowley is concerned. So our children on the East-West corridor could be dropping out of school. How many? 2,800. 2,800 drop out of primary and secondary school. You see Keith Christopher Rowley call and address that? He don't care. He don't care why. His children living nice. They're living high off the hog. But our children could catch us. Rowley didn't care about that. 2,800. And now we have to dig deeper. Where are they going? A 13-year-old boy said he was out of school since he's 10 years old. Why? Mommy couldn't pay for him to get lunch. Mommy couldn't pay for him to take a taxi back and forth. He out of school since 10 years old. Then you want to come and tell us with your policies, you want to come and tell us that we must lock them up. Tell your opposition, we must be stronger, we must stand with the PNM. We're not standing with you. We're not standing with you. You have no idea about holistic policies. So when Senator Anna Roberts had sport going, had people employed, you say what? We feed in too much black people. That's what you say. We feed in too much black people. You want all your money to go where? To your financiers. No problem with that. When Jolene John and Kamala Prasad Bisasa tell black people in the East Port of Spain, pay $100 and own your house, have some collateral, have something, so you could go to the bank, take a loan for education. Well, all he said, don't trust them Indian. They're fooling black people. When Kamala Prasad Bisasa say, we're buying laptops for everybody, well, all we say, look, they're feeling black people dance. Now we're already running like a dog all over, a mangy dog all over the place, looking for laptops. That's what he is, he's a mangy dog. Because he's suffering my people. He's suffering my people, he's a mangy dog. With fleas. No, I'm not taking it easy with them. You come in with a talk about raffle. But if your raffle could fund 100 million, fire co-member tomorrow morning. Fire co-member, close down Central Bank, and run Trinidad and Tobago like Las Vegas. If you could raise 100 million like that, you're only lying. And you know what? Again, I'm not angry with Rowley. Rowley's a liar, and evil does what it does. Evil will do what it has to do. It's the facilitators of Keith Christopher Rowley. The ones who know that he's lying. The ones who know that he's suffering our people. The ones who know that he has no policy to improve the lives of Trinidad and Tobago. That is who we have to look at, and we have to call them out. So when Keith Rowley buff up Senator Varma Diyal Singh, the independent, buff him up. Diyal Singh run back to support Hines. Yes, pornography is what is causing all the crime. That is why we tell you all. We tell you all every time, and I will tell you all every time we speak. It's not about African Indian. It cannot be about that. Rowley wanted like that. As DPL journalists say, that is Rowley's wheelhouse. That is where he's comfortable in that space. The racist talk. The talk is about what? How we could better the lives of the major stakeholders of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is us, the African Indian and the mix-up and all that. That is our people. So for the Ferrer, you know when old people come and they talk, sometimes they talk too much. You know what Ferry Ferrer said? Where we get most donations in the PNM from? Where we get it from? You know he said? 1970 to 1971. And who was the major donors? The 1% white people. He said, I ain't said, don't come and tell me in the paper someone naked racist. For the Ferrer say, all the donations to PNM, best period of donations was in 1971. What was that? The Black Power Revolution. All the white people, they're so afraid, black and Indian unity, what they do? They run and give all the money to PNM. To do what? Lick down black people. Lick down black people. Mash up NJAC. And there's the same government want to come and tell you now that they're for African people. Well, I telling African people on the East-West Corridor, it's time you get up, time you stand up, and lift up your end of the sofa. You have to stand up and lift up your end of the sofa. So when you see us walking, don't come and tell us what UNC are for you. What you doing for us to help you? What are you doing for us to help you? You have to bring back this group of people in the UNC who have ideas, who are intelligent. Some of them too bright for their own good. Hard working. We're not lazy. We're not lazy. We're working. Yesterday we come in here tomorrow and talk. And then we go in again tomorrow. You know why? We have the interests of the people at heart. We have that right here. It's right here. It's burning inside. I need nothing but the day yet. But I could talk all night if you let. So I tell you, I'm leaving here with this. I'm leaving here with this. We have to recognize as a people. It's not about African Indian. We have to recognize as a people. It's about us versus that wretched government called the PNM. Versus that evil that stalks the land. And I want Jason Gordon and them to call him out. Keith Christopher Rowley. We have to stand up. We have to stand up united. One leader. One party. UNC and proud on the road to victory. I thank you.
To the nation.
You all may not know, but I have a brilliant, strong, intelligent son. You know, I always talk about my daughters because daughters have a special place in the heart of fathers. But I have a son, and he's going to graduate from Hugh Wooden very soon. And this week, when I saw the front page of a newspaper, I tremble and I shake with my doubles and coffee. I drop the paper, I bounce my starter, and I gone down by my son. He said, "Daddy, what happened? I hug him, boy." I said, "Boy, I'm so proud of you that you are a man. You are an intelligent man. You are a man who takes care of his mother and takes care of his sister. You do your work, you go to your church, you pray, you discipline." Because when I saw the front page of the 3 men that the PNM is showing our young people how to be, when they attended the ceremony of the Order of Mediocrity handed to Kangaloo, the 3 men on the front page was Keith Christopher Rowley, Mr. Kangaloo, and Ivor Archie. I said, "Lord, I honor man, I'm a pool man, and I want to be man." I said, "Lord, I run 100%. That is what the PNM offering our country." When I finish, I got my son, I sit down and I drink a coffee. I say, "You know what the strategy of Rowley is? Rowley does just shout out and exaggerate things that he knows he's guilty of." So recently, you all see Nelson Gate affair, the most corrupt, insipid, dastardly act by a government, by a prime minister, by an attorney general to bribe, to pay, to induce, to get a man who was dying to lie on some UNC members so that they could win and run in the treasury to raid it without procurement. You know what Rowley say? Rowley come to a press conference and say, "Kamala say, send the police for me. Send the police for me and Faris." But the man, the Queen's Counsel that he was praising, who's a King's Counsel now, Rowley just come and lie and tell all you that the man was convicted, and then the thing about Faris. So he threw out something, a serious issue, make it like it's frivolous, when police should be knocking on Rowley door, and Arawi door, and Alaimo door, and Fitzgerald Hines door, and the PNM cabinet door. A very serious thing. Rowley call and talk about the ground report and say something. They want to talk about rape. Rowley, wait, Rowley. Nobody has say you rape yet. What we said was, while you were a teacher in 1969, science is so specific that the consummation of the child occurred when the girl was of school age, 16 months, 16 years and 2 months. So if the time of impregnation of the girl of school age happened at 16 years and 2 months, nobody has say rape yet. What we say is you're the disrespectful, misogynistic, user of people who abuse your power as a teacher to impregnate a girl of school age and leave the child. Now we also know that young girls like that, one does not just meet them on one day and make love to them on the same day. There is a period of grooming. Now if the police would investigate, and they investigate and show that it wasn't only one time, then we could call something else. But he jumped out with the word to make you all feel that he's a good man, when the truth is insipid, that a man would use his power position to take advantage of a girl of school age. Rowley cry and blame all of you for poor parenting, murder rate, crime situation, poor parenting, when everybody in the world knows that Keith Christopher Rowley is the worst father on this planet. A man who does not mind the product of his loins is not a man. He's a mama fool. Keith Rowley started to talk about the country had no religion. We had to pray. We are amongst evil and darkness. Yes, Rowley, because you are the only prime minister and leader in the history of the Caribbean who admitted your work obia on another leader, Patrick Mervyn Augustus Manning, and your deal with Satan now pervades the country. So don't tell we pray. We pray every day to see the back of you and the PNM for the next 40 years. Well, Rowley say that Kamla Prasad, Mrs. call him a Wajang. And he will take that name any day, but he would not take being called a thief. In other words, he's trying to say that he, Keith Christopher Rowley, he is not a thief, and Kamla Prasad, Mrs. and the UNC full of thieves. That's what he'd like to say. Well, let's start at the beginning to analyze this statement. In 5 years and 4 months, Kamla Prasad Bissasa's government spent $325 billion. And you had 106 schools, you had aquatic center, cycling velodrome, tennis center, 6,874 houses. Your road was smooth, highway to Point Fortin, you had Sea Bridge going, you had community center, fire station, police station, MIC centers, NESC centers, food can, social development grant, ministry of the people, 42,000 can, school feeding increased from 51,000 to 74,000 across the board. Rowley spent $40 billion more than Kamla, and all you have nothing. So who thief? But it wasn't Kamla Prasad Bisasa who called Rowley a thief, you know. It wasn't Kamla who called him a Wajang. It was Patrick Mervyn Augustus Manning who said that Rowley is a Wajang. Rowley said he prefers to be called a Wajang than a thief. Well, Patrick Manning also said, show me a liar and I will show you a thief, Rowley. As he asked Rowley, where the money gone from Cleaver Heights right down the road? Rowley said he is a Wajang, not a thief. But yet, Kamla Prasad Bisesa and her government went into parliament, scramble, consult, fight, and pass legislation to protect your money. They put padlock on the money, procurement legislation. Rowley see the legislation. He tell Faris, hey boy, that thing had too much security, boy. Their money too safe, boy. What we going to do? And he and Faris gone, water down, got the legislation, gone in the parliament, gone in the Senate, get them PNM independent senators to play sack in, sack out, and water down the legislation. Why? All you answer, all you know, understanding? Who would do that? A Wajang or a thief? Or is it a Wajang who is a thief? Kamla Prasad Bisesa had one person to one board, one chairman to one board, no family members of ministers on any board. Rowley come and he boy, Noel Garcia, the ugliest man in Trinidad and Tobago with the most work. Noel Garcia building airport, hospital, health center, community center, sports stadium, Magnificent 7, Red House, President's House, Prime Minister residence in Tobago. Every house in Trinidad and Tobago is one man, Noel Lasal Torres Garcia. Who would do that? A wajang or a thief? Or a wajang who is a thief? Rowley, say that is my friend. 100 million in oil unaccounted for. The oil pump so much, you swear it's 23 pump all that oil in one day. Rowley said, but I'm my friend. He fire minister, he fire board, he get the lawyer to go there, he kept spreading, he shut down Petrotrin, he shut down, he didn't appeal, he do everything, then pay his friend 118 million plus $1 billion in a 10-year contract. Who would do that? A wajang or a thief? Or a wajang who does thief? Rowley called Bridgman's when he crashed Tobago. And that's why Tobago spit him out 14-1. And that's what Trinidad is waiting to do to get rid of the PNM across the board, the east-west corridor from Diego Martin to Matlock, down to Point 14 and La Brea. Rowley say Bridgman's money is crooked money. But Rowley approved the money by prime ministerial approval and then went back to cabinet for covering approval of the crooked money. Who would do that? A thief or a wajang? Or a wajang who does thief? Rowley, when he was Minister of Planning and Development in 2003, before Manning fired him and moved him in December 2003 to housing, Rowley was the Minister of Planning and Development. His good friend, John Rahal's son, Joseph Rahal, joined a company called Woodgill. Woodgill had applied in shorelands to go up in the sky, but it had been denied legally. Can't do it. Cottersill, 1964. Many had tried, nobody got it. Rowley took his signature, and by prime ministerial approval, he gave John Rahal's son approval, outline approval to go up in the sky, increasing the value of their land from 10 million to 850 million. Who would do that? A wajang or a thief? Or a wajang who does thief? When gravel rolled from by a hospital to somewhere by you had to be a wajang who does thief. A hospital is somewhere to protect the elderly, the young, the infirmed. When gravel rolled from by a hospital to somewhere by you are not only a wajang who is a thief, but you're evil. When you interfere with the Independent Police Service Commission and thwart a merit list and get 2 other public officers to misbehave in public office so you can control police to get $65 million to run down Munilal and Anil. You could get 650 million. You could get 6.5 billion. You can't get Munilal. You can't get Anil because we is not wajang and we is not thief. So help me with this, my UNC family, my warriors. Rowley calling Kamala a thief. Kamala had 1 chairman to 1 board. Rowley had 1 man in charge of all 7 boards. So who thief? All you said. Kamala had 1 person, 1 board. Rowley had 1 person on multiple boards. Ingrid Lassie on 9 board. Eustace Nancis on 6 board. The speaker husband on 7 board. And all of them is neighbor in Inez Gate. So who thief? Kamala said no minister's family on board. Rowley only family and friends controlling your money. So who thief? Kamala passed strong procurement and weakened it. Rowley gutted it. So who thief? Kamala had 0 recusals as Prime Minister. Rowley have 11. His cabinet have 612 recusals benefiting themselves and their family. Who thief? Kamala's business equal the people's business. The business of being Prime Minister. Kamala don't have no goat farm, no sheep farm, no meat farm, no honey goat weeds pharmacy selling thing for thing to stand up that can't stand up. And let me correct Senator Nakid. Senator Nakid, Rowley so informed and under so much pressure, not even me big toe could stand up. Rowley's Attorney General renting building to himself from himself. So who thief? Rowley's ministers' wives getting lucrative contracts. Kamala, no family, no wife, again, no contract. So who thief? Rowley's finance minister living large, coming in the parliament to make laws for him to profit. And I hear the minister man going to live somewhere by calm. Who thief? Rowley say he's a real estate broker and a developer because he negotiated with a contractor for Inez Gate purchase, which he failed to declare in his integrity forms. Who thief? So who is the thief? Kamala in over 20 years filled out her Integrity in Public Life Act forms to perfection. Rowley failed to declare a beneficial interest of $458,000 earned from a contractor and undervalued his house value in Tobago. So who thief? Kamala and the UNC paying rent for UNC headquarters. Rowley building $100 to $150 million Balize house with work done only by contractors who gained contracts under the PNM. So who thief? On the road to victory, we will beat the thief from there, we will beat the thief down there, we will hit them low, we will hit them high. The United National Congress, one leader, one party, UNC, on the road to victory. God bless.
To the nation, put the guns them down. But we want some put them down. Put them away now. Mr. Marshall, then try, what you say? Now, this is what you say.
Who thief? Thank you, Senator Anil. Our next speaker is a